I was at a church about 20 years ago, and I was at a prayer meeting, and a lady spoke up, and she'd been in a prayer group for years. We got into this meeting, and she spoke up, and she said, I don't even know, and I don't even understand how to love God, because God's a guy, and guys have done nothing but hurt me my whole life. So how can I call him Dad when I've been hurt my whole life? How can I know what love is, because I don't even know how to reach out to this God, because he's a God. A lady who's been in the church for a long time said that to me. Said that to the whole prayer group, not just to me. But I can tell you this, that once you start reaching out and knowing that God is never going to hurt you, and knowing that God's only going to love you, and God is only going to put his arms around you and comfort you, and God is not going to hurt you, and God is not going to do the things that other men have done to you, and when you realize that he's a loving God, he's a caring God, he's a compassionate God, and all he wants is the best for you, and all he wants to do is wrap his arms around you and say, you are my daughter. Let me go one step further. Some of you guys have no clue of how to even cry. Because you were told your whole lives, don't cry because you're a man. Biggest crock of hoopla. Some of you thought I was going to say something else. Biggest crop of hoopla that has ever been spoken out of a father's mouth is for him to tell a man not to cry. My dad's not like that now, but my dad always told me, don't cry. When I gave my heart to Jesus, now for some of you, this is going to sound funny, but when I gave my heart to Jesus, was totally sold out to him, I would watch William Shatner, 911 Emergency. You guys remember William Shatner, 911 Emergency? Okay, now I'm going to get to the funny part of this story. I remember this show, and when I gave my heart to Jesus and I saw people hurting, I cried. And I realized that it was okay to cry because I had compassion in me now, and things were different in my life. And I was able to be a man and still cry out to God. Some of us have no idea how to be compassionate men to our wives, to women in our lives. Some of us don't know how to be compassionate women because of what we've been taught. It's time for you to break off yesterday and turn to today. Because that's the only way you're going to start fresh. Well, Mr. Bob, we've heard all this. Yeah, you have. You've heard some of it. But the thing I'm telling you guys is when I was serious about giving my heart to the Lord, it didn't matter what happened to me in the past because I was moving forward. Somebody needs to say amen right there, seriously. Amen. It didn't matter what happened to me. I can understand, we're just talking frank. Is that okay? Yep. For some of you, that means I'm just talking honest. I understand molestation. I was molested. I understand not having compassion. I was there. I understand a lot of what you're feeling because I've been there. But I'm telling you, when I seriously decided to follow the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, I was able to say, I'm putting away yesterday and I'm turning towards today. I'm putting away yesterday. I'm shutting the book of yesterday and I'm moving on to today. I got on Facebook this week, and a friend of mine from high school again suddenly popped up. It was actually yesterday. I was at Bob's mom's funeral, and this young man named Ed Hirschberger popped up on my Facebook as I was coming out of the funeral that I was at. And me and Ed used to party together quite a bit. And Ed's like, man, he goes, I can show you on my Facebook what it says, and if you want to, you can look at the conversation that I had with him. This is going to sound very prideful what I'm about to say, and I'm not trying to be prideful. For some of you that know me, I'm being honest with you. You guys okay with honesty? When Ed Hirschberger popped up, he asked me, he said, man, I've been looking all over the place. I have no idea what happened to you. I had no idea where you went, what happened to you. I always wondered what happened to Bob Lamb. That's kind of what he said. And I'm thinking to myself, here's the part that's going to sound prideful. I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what happened to Bob Lamb. Because God has changed me so much, you guys, of who I was and to who I am now. There is such a difference between Bob Lamb of yesterday, 21 years ago, and today. And there's only one thing I have to say on that subject, and that's because of the big guy upstairs. When you have love, and you have a God who tells you He loves you, it doesn't matter what happens to you. When you have a God who tells you that He's going to hold you in His arms, and you have a God that understands where you've been, and you have a God that seriously wants to have a relationship with you, and you have a God that says what He says in His Word is honest and true, there's nothing else you need to look for. It's right there. So when you turn the page in your life, and you turn the page and you're honestly wanting a fresh start and a new start, it doesn't matter what anybody has ever done to you. It doesn't matter what you've done. The slate is clean. Am I happy with what happened to me? I've been asked that. No, I'm not happy with what happened to me back there. I'm not happy with the things that I went through. I'm not happy with the way my life went. But I'm doggone happy with the way my life is right now. And I wouldn't change nothing. I think it's great you guys are clapping, but that's not what I'm after tonight. What I'm after tonight is for you guys to know that you're able to turn the page in your lives. That you're able to turn a new chapter. That you're able to go to the second step. I guess we could call this, instead of love, maybe we should call this turn the page 2. Yes, but no, I'm not going to sing it. I sang last week and people wrote bad things to me.
That's not unusual.
Would you say not unusual? Yeah, I know, Joe. You guys like my purple drink? Nice. Going back to my childhood. First scripture, please. Hey, Dan, I don't have Bob. Do you have your glasses? Can you read up there?
I can read that one.
Okay.
It's Deuteronomy 11, 12 through 14.
What version?
King James Version.
All right. This is for you, Dan. You got your Bibles turned. Hang on one second, Dan. I'm sorry. You got your Bibles turned to it. So you're reading it for yourself.
The land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul.
When I finally understood what love was, it didn't take me 5 years to realize what love was and what God had for my life. It was a very short period of time, from the time I gave my heart to the Lord, till I really knew what He was about. Did I make mistakes? Yes. But it was a short time. When I said, finally, Jesus, I believe, nothing else mattered. Nothing. When I was able to say, Lord God, I need you to really touch me today and throw your arms around me and show me that you love me. I don't care if you think I'm whacked out of my tree, and some of you already do, and I don't say nothing to that because I'm not joking around right now. When I honestly said, Lord God, I need you to wrap your arms around me. I need you to touch me right now. I need to know that you're there, that you care, that you love me, that you have compassion on me. I'm telling you, for you men who don't believe me, I don't care whether you believe me. I felt God's presence wrap His arms around me and hold me. And let me say this, it wasn't just God bumps. It wasn't just hair standing up on my arms, which is wonderful.